Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about something new and something very exciting. And that would be the Fujifilm X-H1 brand new camera from Fujifilm. Now I have to tell you that I am very happy that I did not purchase the Fujifilm X-T2 because I have the Fujifilm X-T20 at the moment and I have a few lenses, and I wanted to purchase the X-T2 as well. But I decided to wait a little bit, until the X-T3 or something else will come out, and I'm really happy that I did it, because in the meantime the Fujifilm X-H1 came on the market, which is now at the moment the best camera for my needs and my style, I would say, and I will explain to you why. Now, this is obviously still a preview of the camera. I didn't put my hand on the camera because it's still not out yet, and when it will come out, I will put my hand on it and try it out, definitely. But I have very high expectations, and I am pretty much sure, that everything will be fine because Fujifilm does a great job. So let's see a little bit about the camera. Now, it's a new video-centric camera from Fujifilm. This is actually the first video-centric camera which hits the market, because usually Fujifilm didn't really put much attention on video, mostly on photo. And that's completely fine. They were oriented towards the photographers, not towards videographers. Now, this is the first camera which is more video oriented, but still it's more photography oriented, but it's more video oriented features in it like before it used to be. So it's a 24 megapixel APS-C size sensor, the same sensor like it used to be in the Fujifilm X-T2, and it's actually a mini GFX camera. Fujifilm has this medium format camera, the GFX 50S, and this body is like a reduced GFX. If you reduce in size, the GFX, this body looks like that. So why is this good? Because I am a DSLR guy. I'm an old school guy, I would say. So I like very much the feel of the DSLR, the handling of the DSLR, and this camera is really close to that. That's why I used to like a lot Panasonic cameras, because Panasonic cameras, the G85, the G7, the GH5, the GH5S, all these cameras, the G9 now, they are kind of little DSLRs. So that's really good for me because I am a DSLR guy and I really like that, I tell you. Now, again, what I wanted to say over here is that there is something in this camera which is revolutionary new in Fujifilm, and that is the in-body image stabilization. Now, for me, in-body image stabilization is not really a big deal. I don't really care about it because I do mostly photography. My video work, it's just for my YouTube channel, so I don't really do severe video work. I don't care. And obviously for photographers, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I don't want any war over here, but in my opinion, in-body image stabilization is not really important for me, for my type of work. But there are other photographers. It is helpful, obviously, but it's not really important. But in this camera, it is in there. So you have a 5-stop in-body image stabilization, or 5-stop or 5.5 stop. Depends what kind of lenses you are using on the camera. Now, they made a better EVF on the camera. It's even better than the X-T2's EVF, which is brilliant, by the way. I really like it. Even the EVF of the X-T20 is good. It's not the best, but it is good. But this is even better. So better autofocus mode. Now I'm chimping down on my phone here because I made some notes so I don't forget the things, that's why I'm sorry about that. So anyway, let's get back to the to the video. So better autofocus. The autofocus of the X-T2, it was one of the best, I tell you. I mean, I tested that camera. I tested the Nikon D500. A Nikon D500, it's more than enough for any kind of job, for sports, wildlife, whatever you want, And the X-T2 was on par with that. Actually, the X-T2 was, we can say that it was one of the few mirrorlesses which is actually equal with the DSLR autofocus, and that is really, really good. Now, this is even better. Fujifilm claims that it's even better. Is it true or not? I don't know. We will see. We will test it. That's it. But until then, we'll take as true. That it is better. Now, it's the shutter. It's made more quiet, even in mechanical mode. It has also electronic shutter, but in mechanical mode, even in mechanical mode, the shutter is more quiet, and that is very good. The XT2 and the XT20, they have really good shutter sound. I really like that. But this is even better than that. Obviously it has Wi-Fi and these kind of things, which I don't really use. I don't really care about that. But battery grip and booster mode. Now this, I do care about this because I like I said, I like the DSLR feel, and battery grip, it will make it complete, the feel of the DSLR in this camera, and that is brilliant because I have to tell you that in many situations you would need the extra power and you don't have time to change battery. So to having a battery grip, it is a very, very big plus. That's one of the biggest drawbacks, I would say, in the XT20, that it doesn't have a battery grip, but this one has, so that's good. And also the battery grip will enable some features in the camera, like extends the 4K video recording capability, because without battery grip it will be 10 minutes, the video 10 or 15 minutes, 10 minutes I think, and with the battery grip that will be increased to 30 minutes. So it's good, battery grip. And also the frame rates, on the continuous shooting, it will be longer with the battery grip, but that's not really important because even without battery grip, it's like 11 frames a second or something. You don't need more than that. Especially in my work, I don't need that. 6 frames a second is more than enough. But anyway, if you want for sports or something, it is in there. Now, okay, we have over here all these kind of electronic shutter frame rates, like 14 frames a second. But they are not really important because they are not in continuous autofocus, and once it's not in continuous autofocus, in my opinion, it is not important. And I tell you why. Because if you start shooting, why do you shoot first in the first place? Why do you shoot with continuous frame rates? Continuous frame, sorry. Because you want something which is moving, you want to shoot. And if you shoot something what is moving, then obviously you need continuous autofocus, because other than continuous autofocus, the photos will be out of focus anyway. So it's not really a good idea to shoot with those frame rates. I mean, if you shoot a statutory subject which just stays on a place, you don't need, the continuous shooting mode. You can just shoot in point to point, Well, that's my opinion anyway. Now let's talk about video, because this is something what is really advanced in this camera, I would say, comparing with the older Fuji cameras. Now, older Fuji cameras like the X-T2 and X-T20, they do 4K video, they do in Ultra HD mode, and they do pretty well, that's not a problem. But they didn't have some specific video-centric features, and this camera, it does. And let's see what are these. So first of all, it is the 4K video and cinema 4K mode, not the Ultra HD mode. The cinema 4K mode is the cinematic look on when you shoot, and that is more than 4,000 pixels, because Ultra HD is about 3,800 pixels. I will put up on the screen here because I don't know exactly the pixel size, but I will put up here the difference between the Ultra HD and cinematic 4K. Now, this camera does cinematic 4K, DCI 4K they call it, on 24 frames a second. 24 frames a second is more like a cinema. That's in United States. In Europe they use 25 frames a second. That's nothing. There is no difference between them. So it's both are the kind of the same. Now it does have 1.17 crop factor when you start shooting in 4K. So it will be that it won't be the whole frame. It will crop in another 1.17 times. In the frame. So you have to know that when you shoot with wider lenses and you want really wide image, you know, you have to be prepared for that. That's a disadvantage kind of, but that's not really big. 1.17 times, that's okay, I'd say. The camera does have f-log, which is really good if you want to shoot in log, you know, and then just boost it up, you know, in post-processing, process it, you know, after that. However you like it, that's a great idea to shoot in f-log, and that is really good that it has. Now there is something what I really miss in the X-T20 and in the Panasonic cameras. They all have this, and it is really good, and that would be face detection in 4K. Now let me tell you something, the Fuji cameras, they are good enough, you know, in tracking, you know, and it's okay, I'd say, for this kind of shoots, you know, like I say, I'm not moving around, you know, it's completely fine, it's not a problem. But when you start moving, you start going here, there, you know, they kind of struggle. So face detection will be really good for this matter, you know. I think, in my opinion, that this will be a great addition to that camera. Now, 30 frames a second, the Ultra HD 4K, increased bitrate up to 200 megabits per second. Now, that's a lot of data. 200 megabits per second, it will be a very, very detailed video, in my opinion. But like I said, you have to try it out, we have to try it out, test it out, and then we'll see. But it will be great, I'd say, this 200 megabits per second. You obviously can set to 80 megabits to 100 megabits as well if you want. You don't have to shoot with 200 megabits per second. Full HD video up to 120 frames. That's slow motion, and it's really, really good. 120 frames, it's kind of the mid-range, you know, and that is absolutely good, I'd say. If you are into this, you know, with slow motion, this is really helpful, and it is really good for that. Time code and anti-flicker. Now, time code, I don't really want to talk about this so long, because this video will be extra long. But you can look it up, you know, if you don't know what is that. It's by synchronizing a few cameras, you know. If you want more angles, you know, the camera will synchronize, will time code, let's say, the footage, you know, so it's far easier for you in post-processing after that. Now, I have to tell you, I am really, really excited about this camera, because, like I said, the handling on this camera, it looks excellent. Now, I tested out the Fujifilm GFX, the medium format camera, and I loved it. I just loved the feel in the hand, you know, the button placement, the handling, and this is almost the same. So that's why it looks like this will be the perfect camera for me, for my job. Now, obviously, there are disadvantages in every camera, that's not a question, and you have to live with it. But you have to make a decision, and I think that I will buy this camera because it is better for my type of work, and it is better for my personality because of the DSLR. Other than that, you know, the Fuji X-T2 would have been great for me, but it's not the same. When I hold in the hand the Fuji X-T20 or the X-T2, I don't feel the same. I have something what is missing from there, and that is the DSLR look, you know, the DSLR feel, sorry, not the look. The DSLR feel, the button placements, you know, it's kind of the grip, you know, it's different. And this one, it will be probably much, much better, because the GFX, it is excellent. And even if you reduce that feeling, you know, this will be great. So this was kind of a preview, you know, and why, in my opinion, this camera will be a game changer in Fuji's history. And Fuji is very severely into the camera manufacturing. It looks like they don't give up, and they innovate more and more, and that is really good. So we wait for the Fuji X-T3 now, the next camera which will come out, because this does not replace the X-T3 at all. So we are looking for that, and hopefully on Photokina 2018 they will represent the X-T3 as well. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I hope that you liked it. If you liked it, please like and subscribe and share my videos. And other than that, I wish you a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.
You're a superhero.